Say goodbye to the ordinary and hello to the endless possibilities of extended reality.
On this epic adventure, we'll dive into some of the awe-inspiring technologies that are expanding the potential of everything from education to entertainment and on-the-job training.
We'll introduce you to some of the brilliant minds revolutionizing the way we interact, play, and learn, and explore how you can stay safe in this remarkable landscape.
Verizon and Discovery Education are taking you into the mind-bending world of extended reality.
Join us as we cross the bridge to the future. The world of tomorrow begins now.
Some of the most cutting-edge technologies are being developed and tested here at the Verizon Innovation Lab in Boston. Hi, I'm Krish.
And I'm Hannah. Extended reality, or XR, is actually a spectrum of technologies that bridge our physical environment to the digital world. And there's no limit to the potential.
XR includes virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. Do you know the difference? In virtual reality, users wear a special headset that completely covers the eyes and ears, creating a whole new digital world to explore, limited only by the software. You can move around, look in any direction, and even touch and feel things in that virtual world, even though they're not really there.
Augmented reality enhances the real world with virtual elements. Think digital layers on top of what you see around you. With AR, virtual objects are projected into your real world through a device like a smartphone or special glasses.
Mixed reality is an innovative blend between VR and AR. MR lets you have a more seamless experience, where virtual objects can interact with your real environment, and you can interact with them. Okay, so you got that? VR is about immersing yourself in a completely virtual world. AR is about adding virtual elements to the real world. And MR is about blending the virtual and the real worlds together.
The mention of those technologies often brings to mind images of gamers in headsets or social media apps. But the uses of XR extend far beyond entertainment.
Some of XR's most compelling uses help save lives. First responders use VR simulations to prepare for dangerous real-life scenarios, such as fires, car accidents, natural disasters, and even robberies.
You've probably already experienced how the technology is impacting education. Senior engineering consultant Miraj Mainali shows us how it's changing the workplace too.
Within XR, there are augmented reality, mixed reality, virtual reality, and that gives us amazing sense of flexibility in terms of providing different kind of education and training materials within those simulated experiences. Hi, my name is Miraj Mainali, and I'm a senior engineering consultant here at the Verizon Innovation Lab in Boston. Remote working has really accelerated the developments in AR and VR. Before the pandemic, a lot of workers needed to be on-site to be trained, but now there is more flexibility in training workers. Several researchers have pointed out that human beings learn more by doing than by seeing or reading instruction manuals. So when people are trained within that virtual and augmented reality, they are more efficient, and it also improves worker safety, because within that environment you can train someone not just what to do on their job, but also what not to do on their job. Within XR, we can design those perfect work scenarios. We can create CAD model of their environments and then train workers in that simulated environment to do their jobs better. You can create step-by-step instructions, and now you have a very scalable way to train new workers as well as very cost-effective. This is a typical augmented reality-based worker training, and this platform right now has a work module to train someone to fix and troubleshoot landing gear of a jet airplane. With augmented reality, the user can also see their outside world, which is very important for a worker in a manufacturing environment, let's say. They need to be aware of their surrounding so that they don't bump into walls, trip on wires, and fall on the floor. The real fun is I can pull in the 3D image of the landing gear, and when I move my head around, I can see the landing gear over here. And it's also giving me a lot of instructions. There are also video notes that I can pull. They can see an overlay of instructions onto their environment, and by projecting that image, they are now able to layer those together and do their jobs. We're also starting to see companies explore XR in other applications, in other use cases, such as automating paperwork and remote collaboration. It can not just be used for training, but also can be used as a guidance tool when workers are deployed on the field and troubleshoot that in real time. There are several advantages of using virtual reality. So think about all of the environments that are difficult to replicate in an office environment to train workers. For example, how do you train someone to go inside a manhole and fix all the cables? Think about how you can train someone to inspect wind turbines, or how do you train someone to work at heights, climb up the communication towers. This is how we can train someone to climb the tower without actually sending them to the tower. So then they have all the instructions. There are so many precautions that we can give them. So it's very difficult to replicate those environments. So it's better to have them fully immersed into that virtual scenario. We evaluate a lot of different technologies and test them on our network and give feedback to the developers so that we can improve those technologies. And also when it's time, we help commercialize those solutions. Here at Verizon Innovation Lab, we are testing XR with 5G. And one of the key components of 5G is ultra low latency. Latency is how fast you can communicate or send your data from the simulated experiences in AR and VR devices to the data server. If you move your head around and the image lags behind by a second, then it throws you off. You are disconnected from that system and it makes you disoriented, it makes you very nauseous, and the first thing that you want to do is take that headset and throw it away. Some of the applications that we run on endpoint devices like smartphones and tablets can be done on cloud compute. Cloud service providers are often far away from where the data is originated, and for XR that can become a challenge. So Verizon works with cloud service providers to bring their cloud computing closer to where most of the people live, and that's called edge compute. By using edge, we can even further reduce the latency. This industry will create so many jobs. Some of them might include hardware engineers, and also on the software side, we will need programmers who can program not just the 2D environment, but also 3D, which is very crucial for augmented and virtual and mixed realities. And also network engineers, because we need very robust and seamless network that we can rely on.
Now, one thing this kind of reality can't quite fully replicate yet is human touch. But the technology is getting closer.
The science and technology related to simulating touch is called haptics.
These haptic gloves allow you to feel the texture of the things in the real world. The US Army is already using gloves like this to train medics. I tried them out earlier. The backpack is pretty heavy, but the gloves have 130 tiny points of tactile feedback. So tiny, the points are only about the size of 2 grains of sand.
Wow, imagine what the ability to feel things could mean for gaming. It's estimated that more than half of the US population plays video games either on console, mobile phone, or both. Wait a minute, if I'm going to do a story about gaming, it shouldn't be like this. That's much better. Hey, I have an idea. You want to play a game with me?
Over there?
Yeah, over here. You can play along too. The game is called 2 Truths and a Lie. Ready?
Okay, let's do it.
Cool, isn't it? You good with port scene, or should we go for a more desert vibe? Ooh, how about luxury mansion?
Does it matter for the game?
No, I just like options.
Let's go with port scene.
Okay, let's play. Which of these is not true? Number 1, the video game Pong is credited with starting the gaming industry. Number 2, the concept of virtual reality was first introduced in the early 1980s. Number 3, researchers have successfully used VR technology to help individuals overcome certain fears and phobias.
I know the first one is true. I remember talking to my dad about Pong. Atari made the game in 1972. Could you imagine a game with such simple graphics being so popular today? So, is the third one the lie?
No, that's true. The lie is number 2. The concept of virtual reality dates back to the early prototypes and research in the 1960s and 1970s. The term virtual reality was coined in the 1980s by American computer scientist Jaron Lanier, who used it as a way to describe the technology he was developing to a friend.
Good game.
The gaming industry is on track to be worth $321 billion by 2026. It's leading to more careers in this field and others. Gaming expert Mason Bates shares some insight to help you level up.
The gaming industry has changed a lot in the last 5 years. The esports industry has continued to grow and expand in different ways. There's also been the expansion of the metaverse, which has evolved and created a whole new paradigm for interaction and co-experience. Hi, I'm Mason Bates. I'm head of gaming and esports for the sponsorship department at Verizon. COVID was a really big paradigm shift for the general acceptance of I am a gamer. I think many more people came to accept that that's something that they can identify themselves as. Gaming is a global fandom. It's a way for fans to connect with their subset of a genre and find the people that appreciate the same things and the same competition that they do. We've had gamified behavior in our lives for a long time. Gamification is applying the principles of video games, really very simple principles, and applying them to any behavior that you would have in society, whether that's learning, development, or even social behavior. So gamification can teach you a new language like some of these apps do. It can help you learn a new skill, learn how to cook, all sorts of different things. Checking in at a location and giving a review at a restaurant is even a gamification. But I think what you're seeing is there's smarter ways for gamification to be applied to learning and knowledge. My favorite example is one of the largest automakers on the planet is using a game engine, not only to create and develop their cars in real time, but they're actually developing their entire factory from scratch in the video game engine. I think gaming, other than the fact that it is worth more than the music and movie industry combined as an industry, it's also taking over Hollywood in a big way. Not only are some of the most popular IP becoming movies and TV shows that are breaking records around the globe, but you're also seeing it affect things like fashion lines and fashion development. Fashion labels are relying on the metaverse and 3D gaming technology to deliver their fashion lines and have runway shows in places you could never imagine, doing things that you would never see. Compound that with AI generation and you have a whole new fruitful space for creativity and brainstorming from which to pull. I think the gaming industry is massive, so you can have so many different types of careers. You can work in the music business, you can work in the content business, you can be a data analyst, you can work in marketing. Gaming has every single type of career option, so it's really a diverse opportunity. I think that one of the biggest things that is misunderstood in the gaming industry is that it's so male. There are a lot of different voices, and that diversity is something that the industry as a whole is continuing to work on. Gaming has always been about the youth. Young people have a very different relationship with game publishers than they ever have before. And this relationship is helping drive a lot of innovation and change. But at the same time, you're also seeing that young people are able to develop and create their own games and use the tools that enable them to do more. How is this for an example of how young people are affecting the gaming industry and even my career? I had a meeting with a 14-year-old and his mom and dad because he had developed a really compelling app and game within one of the great platforms out there, and we really wanted to see if perhaps we could use it. That's what we're really, really excited about, is seeing how this new generation takes the tools that have been given to them and churn it up a notch and take it up to the next level. People who've been gaming for their whole lives are really starting to see that it's everywhere. It's not just on the console or on the device. The thing that's going to continue to evolve and accelerate is how high quality of a gaming experience on the go you can actually have and how immersive that can be. The future of gaming, when we're discussing things here at Verizon, really involves a world where things are happening in real time right in front of you. So somebody doesn't have to code that tree over there. That tree happens to come alive based on where you are and based on knowing where you as the central player are within this world. We are delivering things that we've never thought possible even a mere 10 years ago. So the sky is the limit from here on out.
Okay, now I want to let all of you watching in on a little secret. This virtual world we're standing in is actually part of Verizon Innovation Lab's XR stage.
Here's what it looks like when you take the virtual out of the reality.
The XR stage is a sophisticated content capture stage which allows visual storytellers to stream high-quality video and audio to audiences everywhere. With the power of 5G ultra-wideband, editors, special effects artists, directors, and producers can collaborate remotely at faster speeds compared to traditional mobile production studios.
I guess we can't stay in the virtual world forever, but it did look pretty cool. Hey, do you notice anything? There in the back? Zoom in. What or who is that? I thought we were the only ones in the game.
Wow, I didn't even see that before. That's a good reminder we all need to approach this new digital world with a little caution.
Finding the right balance between maximizing the user experience and reducing our risk is the key to unlocking its full potential.
Cybersecurity experts like Chelsea Kane find themselves in a constant battle, working to stay one step ahead of threats that inevitably evolve in tandem with progress.
This technology is very data-driven. It collects a ton of data, and with that, it has created more risk. My name's Chelsea Kane. I'm a cybersecurity manager at Verizon. My primary responsibility is leading the incident response and investigations team for the Verizon Consumer Group business unit. Now, what that means is I manage and oversee incidents, threats, and intelligence as it relates to our customers, our systems, and our applications. Verizon has over 800 cyber employees around the globe who are working day in and day out to stay on top of these trends. These risks are changing every day, every minute, every hour. When you look at things like AI, virtual reality, extended reality, these technologies have exploded in recent years. Deploying and creating responsible technology is so key for how these technologies are expanding. It's important to note the privacy aspect of it. These technologies collect an immense amount of data on consumers, from location data, biometric data, personally identifiable information. To put things in perspective, they collect far more data on their users than social media platforms, which is what you usually see in the news as being the bad guys in terms of data collection. Technology has evolved greatly, and with that, the way we use our mobile devices has changed greatly as well. Think of the panic you feel when you can't find your phone or when it dies at an inconvenient time. I think that helps to show how important our devices has become in our day-to-day lives. It's no longer the thing we use to make a phone call or shoot a few text messages throughout the day. It's how we stay connected to friends and family. It's where we do our finances. It's where we do our banking. It's what we're on all day for social media. It's what we shop on, it's what we consume the news on. It has become the means that connects us to the digital world. Our phones have become an extension of our identity, and with that, they've also become a target. What are hackers after? Well, the number one thing is your money. They're definitely after your money. They can be after your social accounts, and at the end of the day, they're after your identity and your digital identity. Once it becomes compromised, it becomes more challenging to get that back, and protecting it in any way you can is extremely important. Now, that's not to scare you and say, don't use this technology. You should be excited about this technology. You should be leaning in on it. But it's important to do so in a responsible way. It's important to understand how your data is being used, what data is being collected, who it's being collected by, and where that data is going. There is a lot you can do to manage your own risk with emerging technology. It's important to follow the basics when asking how you can secure your digital life and your digital identity. The average consumer is more cyber savvy than they think they might be. It's important to go into the accounts that you use and enable basic security settings, multi-factor authentication, biometrics. It really is important to have unique passwords and strong unique passwords at that. I know that sounds like the oldest trick in the book, but following the basics really goes a long way to protect our digital identity and protect that phone that is our lifeline to the digital world. Verizon has established a responsible AI program and AI task force to ensure that we are taking a secure and risk-based approach to developing AI. This is really cool because it's enabling the excitement and the positivity to developing new AI, leaning into new use cases, figuring out how the company can use it, what our consumers might want to see, but making sure that we are taking a secure and responsible approach with oversight from the AI task force to make sure that we're addressing these risks, we're addressing these threats, and doing so in a responsible manner. I think finding the balance of how we can create responsible technology is really a global issue when you think about it. It comes down to the consumer, large corporations, small corporations, the government, regulators, these technology companies that are expanding, new technologies that are developing on a daily basis. It really is a team effort to make sure that we are developing this technology in an ethical and secure manner so that the future of this technology is strong and that the future of this technology takes security and data privacy implications into account. This is going to continue to explode and it's going to continue to evolve on a rapid day-to-day basis. Things like technology and cybersecurity jobs and careers in those fields are definitely going to continue to grow. We need cyber professionals staying on top of this stuff, staying engaged with it, and making sure we're protected from the threats that come along with it. It's an exciting time for the cyber industry, and I think it's going to get even more exciting.
As you might imagine, XR technology requires advanced computer vision, powerful hardware, and precise tracking capabilities. It also requires a high bandwidth internet connection in order to function smoothly. The high bandwidth internet connection is critical because the XR applications require lots of data to be transmitted between the servers and the devices. The 5G technology also plays a significant role in the XR experience because it has something called ultra-low latency and high throughput. Those are the technical terms that allow such things as high-resolution graphics and real-time sensor inputs to be transmitted within fractions of a second.
So there you have it. That's how extended reality creates a bridge to the future, advancing industry, transforming collaboration, and redefining entertainment. This blending of the physical and digital world can unlock new dimensions of creativity, productivity, and connection.
By embracing a user-centric approach and prioritizing user safety, we can navigate this evolving digital landscape with confidence, unlocking the true potential of technology while protecting those who utilize it.
We want to give a big thank you to our experts, Mason Bates, Chelsea Kane, and Miraj Mainali, for sharing their insight around extended reality.
And on behalf of Verizon and Discovery Education, thank you for watching.